What's up, guys? Today I'm just gonna be going over my list that I played this weekend at my local. I went 3-1, played 3 really good early games. My last game was against Luffy. I haven't practiced much against it. I'm pretty sure it's a bad matchup for me, but it's alright. Played the best I could, and I'm happy with how it went. So, for starters, obviously, we have our Luffy leader. I'm just gonna set that over here. I'm gonna go over 2Ks first, just because I feel like those are something we can get out of the way. Now, disclaimer, I do have some proxies in this list. I'm a college student, so I couldn't buy them just yet, but I will be getting them within like maybe the next week or two. So for now, it's gonna be a lot of casual play until, I fulfill the deck. So for starters, we got one Beppo, 2K counter. He doesn't really do much in this deck other than he's searchable by the Law Searcher and can be played by Gecko if I need to, but he's really just a searchable 2K. It's nice to have a little one-up of him. Next, we got 2 of the 2K counter blocker Sanji. This card, I haven't really used it too much as a blocker or anything, but again, it's just a really nice searchable 2K counter that, can come down sometimes depending on the matchup. Next, we got Usohachi, a staple for handful of purple decks right now, specifically all of the Luffys. I like him, but the reason I don't run 4 is because I run 2 of this Usohachi as well. He really helps in the matchup, the Blackbeard matchup, being able to rest Burgess, because he has a when attacking rest a 4 cost. So that's just really nice. Plus, he's a bit better early game if you're trying to rush somebody down. He's a 4K instead of a 3K. So it's just nice. Super helpful into Burgess and other things like Lucky Roo blocker or, So those are my 2Ks. Oh, no, they're not. I'm so stupid. Then we also run 4 Black Maria. Obviously, staple. You're able to ramp with it. It'll help you get back after like 9-drop Kaidos or even 10-drop Luffy. Super great card. Love the early game ramp it can give you if you don't hit one of your other rampers. And of course, it's a 2K counter. So that is all of my 2Ks. I think I run about, 2, 4, 5, 11 of them. They come up often because a lot of them are searchable and such, so it's really nice. Obviously, a staple in this deck since I'm playing BP. Boom. 4 Zoros. What more can I say? Ramps you, gets you active Dawn. Really great card for this deck. Doesn't really do... It's really nice to place down, too. It's just like a rusher. So you can burst down your enemies. Next, we also got 2 Zoro Joro. I love this card mostly into Blackbeard. It allows you to be able to ramp since it's a when attacking, and not many people expect you to have it, so they won't really, they won't be playing for that. But super nice to play into Blackbeard. Gets me my ramp that I usually don't get, and I think that's why my Blackbeard matchup has been so winnable. So I only run 2 of him, obviously because he's searchable, so usually you want to mulligan into him if you can. So 4 of the Law Searcher. Obviously, you have a bunch of Straw Hats, and you want to find them. Awesome card, can play with Gecko Moria, and, does all your searching. Then I have 2 of the Blocker Robin. Just a super annoying card to put down. If I want to counter with it, I can, because then I can just bring it back with Moria later. Even if it's rested, they're probably going to have to swing into it, or I have a blocker next turn. So I love it. I think it's a super useful card, especially on certain games where, like, you'll put your Zoro down. You don't really need to swing into life, so you can play this. You'll have that and Zoro and probably a Searcher. And then you'll have a blocker, just for, especially in the Dofi matchup. I like it because I don't have to take an 8K swing or a 7K swing so early. Then we obviously run 4 of the blocker Frankie, being able to use my leader's ability. Great card. You can play with Gecko. what more can you ask, you know? Super, super great card. Wins me a lot of my matchups when I could just spam them out with geckos. And very useful, very useful. Then I only run one of this blocker law. It's super useful into the Shanks matchup, and of course it's just a 4-cost blocker I can put down if I happen to not find my Frankies, or, you know, also searchable with law, so that's super nice. But being able to trash 2 cards from hand, very useful, even into Dofi. Then I only run 2 of this Sanji. I do like it, but it is just another brick that I'm gonna have to, you know, sit on most likely if I hit it late game. So 2 of them seems right. Since it's so searchable and I'm going through my deck so much, I will most likely see it. If not, no biggie. But yeah, super nice card when it works, but late game brick, it's just terrible. Then we run actually 4 of the Rush Sanji. I've been playing around with it. I did run 3 and even 2 at one point. But 4 just feels so nice, being able to get this card out and rest something and swing for 7k. It's so nice, and you'll basically always see it, and it helps in a lot of matchups when you want to rush down their board. More specifically like Dofi or something, like rest their Boa, swing 7 at their Jinbei, then Dofi has to waste cards in his hand. So I love it. You need at least 3. Without 3, you're done. So then going on to the big bodies, I only actually run 3 Gecko. I have thought about buffing it up to 4. At one point I actually had it at 2, because this deck, I don't really like it as much, even though it's like, oh yeah, a purple deck that can ramp into a Gecko is busted. Which I do think it's very good when you can spam them out, but I just feel like I see them way too much when I run 4, and I don't always want to see them. So I'm still going to do a bunch of playtesting. This is still pretty early, so we'll see how it eventually goes. But for now, I'm only running 3, and that has been just fine. Moving on to more of my one-of top ends. I have 1 Rush Luffy. What more can I say? Draws you a card. Gets you another active Dawn after you play it because of the -2. And then you have a 10k Rusher. 10k on board. Super nice. As well as a 9-drop Kaido. Now, this was an ad I only put in right before I went to my local this weekend. It is really good into the Blackbeard matchup late game, because you want to put down big bodies, but all of the big bodies in this deck have on plays. So, well, you can't really do with anything against Burgess except for rest him, but all your rests are on plays. So, it's really nice to just be able to put this down, waste a card in Blackbeard's hand, and get rid of his Burgess or something. Or even like a Van Augur, just to make it so he can't use the draw 1. Super nice, super nice. So I just like a 1-of it. If I see it, I do. If I don't, that's whatever. I run 2 of the 9 Rush Kaido. I did run 3, but then I cut 1 for that other Kaido. Super nice card, being able to basically do your ability for, 3 Dawn? That's sick. If you do it on your 9 Dawn turn, next turn you'll have, 8? So then you can Gecko. Super awesome. Being able to KO a 6-cost, so nice, so nice. But yeah, love this card, comes up often. Don't really think I need to add more because I see it enough, but we'll see. Then we run a 1-of 10-drop Nika Luffy card. It comes out. It's just another top-end card that you can play. It's nice because you're able to use it, go all the way down, leader ability, and it'll put you back to 3. Then you pass your turn and get to go again, and you can get all the way back up to 6 with 5 active Dawn. If you have a Black Maria, you can get all the way back up to 10 Dawn. Zip zap, like, insane. But I do only run 1 because it's not really great into too many matchups, but when you get it, it can be really impactful, depending on how the game's playing out. And then my last character is this big guy right here. Kaido Linlin is my MVP and favorite card of this deck. Just because what you can ramp into it Which, I mean, yeah, it's purple, so regardless. But it's so nice to have in Blackbeard, Shanks. It's nice into Lucci even, if they're small-handed and don't have a Gecko or something, and you can play it out. Like, if you can play this out in Lucci, you will most likely win the game. Which is the only really thing I can think of on how to beat Lucci, besides from, like, rushing him down. But super great card to be able to -10 and then go back to -2. You can go back to 2 with leader ability, and then next turn, play out a Black Maria. Boom, back up to, like, 9 Dawn. And then if you have a ramp card, or the Maria doesn't die, you can use her ability again, and you'll be doing the same effect with Kaido Linlin a turn after. Like, it's so nuts. So nuts. But this really wins me my Shanks matchups usually. And I think it's just a great card, especially at a 1-of. If I don't see it, you know, it's whatever. But if I do, I know as long as I'm healthy and I can play it out, I'll win the game. So, great card. Now moving on to my events. Now, a lot of decks run Top Knot, but I opt for no Top Knot just because I didn't get it before it spiked in price, and because I find myself not needing it too much. I play more of a rush down style, try and find my ramp, and then go big or go home. So I do run 1 Gum Gum Jet Gatling. Super nice card. You know, you have a lot of bricks in this deck, so being able to get rid of one for a 3k counter is super nice. And if it happens to be in your life, even though it's a 1-of, you ramp 1. So super awesome. Then I run 2 of the When You're at Sea, You Fight Against Pirates. It's just another searcher. It can trigger. You're looking at the top 3. You can find the Blocker Law, any of your Straw Hats, Beppo. You can get Gum Gum Giants or Gum Gum Jet Gatling with it, unlike the Law Searcher. And it'll just help you find your ramp cards if you happen to not get a Law Searcher or find. It just gives you more search options to find your ramp, which is basically what I'm doing in this deck, ramping to swing. So those are those, and then the obvious 4 of Gum Gum Giant. Now, I have tried this at 3. I didn't mind it too much at 3, but, you know, it's better to be safe than sorry, so I put it at 4. But we'll see how it goes with the deck. I like it at 4. I didn't dislike it at 3, so I might give 3 a try again. Just because I run, like, the 1-of the Gum Gum Jet Gatling, which is another counter, so, you know, we'll see how it goes, but that's basically my list, just to give you a slight rundown of how you should be playing this. You want to search for all of your ramp cards early. Ramp, obviously. And then you just want to start swinging with all your little bodies, eventually getting the big ones down, and you'll win. If you can find Gecko, he puts blockers out and things you need. You can stall a bit just to find those big cards with Frankie. Like, super nice. And I find this to be pretty consistent too. I mean, obviously every deck will usually brick here and there, but I bricked 2 of my local games yesterday off my starting hand. I had 2 Gum Gum Giants in 2 of my starting hands and ended up winning both games, one against Shanks and one against Blackbeard. So I think the deck's really good right now. I will be giving more of like a black version of Luffy, just because, you know, I might as well try it. It's probably not bad, but like the Share Hoshi blockers, I can add like Surus, I can add a bunch of stuff. But I will be giving that a try, and if I ever do like it enough, maybe I'll post it on here. But yeah, there's my list. Went 3-1, and I'm hoping to eventually get a 4-0 soon. So thank you guys.